global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happiness today. Some 2 days ago, Nigerians were really shocked when they got the information that 300 cows were kidnapped in Anambra State, in a community in Anambra State, and about 7 to 10 herdsmen were also kidnapped. A lot of Nigerians were wondering, how is it possible that 300 cows will be kidnapped and nobody will hear their sound and nobody will see their footsteps? A whole lot of people doubted the authenticity of that news. But as we speak right now, the police in Anambra have decided to respond. In fact, they seem to have good news. In the moment, we're going to find out what they are saying and why Nigerians are beginning to wonder, is this whole thing is some sort of a joke, or could it be that just a way of also denting the name of the indigenous people of Biafra, or could it also be that this is just the handiwork of the same Fulanis? In a moment, you're going to find out all this and much more. But before we do that, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, police in Anambra State, as at Monday, which is today, in Oka, that 7 of the 8 herdsmen that was allegedly kidnapped in the state on Saturday had been found and rescued. Police spokesman DSP Tochukwu Ikenga told the news that a joint police and military patrol team found the herdsmen sitting in the bush on Sunday on hot. I take that again. They found the herdsmen sitting in the bush on Sunday on hot. No harm has come his way. They were found at Obene Ochoche Umodo in Ogbaru local government area of the state, that's in Anambra State. All Ikenga added that hundreds of cows said to have been rustled were seen roaming unguarded in the same area. On April 24th, some of the alleged victims of abduction were seen in the bush unharmed, while one of the supposed abductees is still missing. The joint operatives also discovered some of the livestock in the bush. Efforts are being intensified to locate the missing herdsman and some more rustled livestock. The chairman of Miiti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Southeast, Alhaji Gidado Sediki, had alleged on Saturday that 10 herdsmen were kidnapped and 300 cows rustled in Ogbaro in Anambra State. Sediki said the kidnappers demanded a ransom for the release of the abductees. Now see, if the kidnappers had asked for the ransom, they've not paid the ransom, but they're just busy roaming around, and these herdsmen were just sitting down in the bush, unharmed, unruffled. No harm have come their way until the joint team met them. Nigerians are wondering, is this some sort of a huge joke? Now, so many pertinent questions that Nigerians are asking, a whole lot of them beg for answers. 1. How is that possible that 300 cows were rustled and no one heard the sound? 2. Our active security personnel jumped into action with joint team, patrol van moving in, sweeping in to ensure that these guys were released. Bandits do same in the northeast. How many of them have been released? It's always a case of ransom payment. These guys didn't even need to pay ransom. Maybe it was even a fluke after all. Who knows? Just asking anyway. And now they were rustling. They said it was kidnapped, but now it is now rustling. And it's in a lot of questions begging for answers. But let's fulfill the pulse of Nigerians right now. A whole lot of them are talking. At the beginning, when we carried the news the first time, a whole lot of people were like, come on, please, this is fake news. now we are seeing that it's not fake news, it's real. And Nigerians have this to say. This one here is saying, I want to ask a question. I think there is a law against open cow grazing in Anambra. And shouldn't the police have arrested and jailed the 7 criminals sitting in the bush for flouting the state laws? I guess they were one of the kidnapped victims now that are now walking up and down unhurt. And this one here is saying they went for what they couldn't handle. They went for what they couldn't handle. They had no idea of how to handle cows, which might have been an uphill task for them. And perhaps the reason they were caught. Cows roaming about without the right shepherd, too much for them to handle, and they gave them out on time ultimately. And well, the truth of the matter is, cows, if you are not used to, when you say cow rustling, it's always usually done by day two. The Fulani herdsmen, they have a way of also, they understand the language of the cow, so they know how to rustle these cows. But someone who is not even used to rearing up cattle, how would you even handle them? Those cows can be very wonderful sometimes, so it's difficult to, quote unquote, kidnap or rustle them if you're not used to, if you're not in that sector. This one here is saying the police needs to be arrested for aiding banditry. Excuse me. That's their duty to ensure there's law and order, and they're just doing that. Just that Nigerians would have begged or would have preferred, let this be balanced. While you rush into action to see the safety and security of herdsmen, same thing should be done to other ethnic groups. This one here is saying super story. Them catch herdsmen you see is are not that heartless, but in motion we are going to become. I don't understand what he's trying to say, and that's true. They said they kidnapped them, but look at, they came back in one piece. They said they wanted ransom. From all indication, no ransom was paid. Let's keep being our brother's keeper, please. When it comes to the other ethnic groups too, please let our security men be up and running. It makes the work entertaining, it makes them work better. This one here is saying herders sitting in the bush with cows. So the herders did not seek to rejoin their people. They did not seek out the remaining 2 herders. They just sat down doing nothing. This story gets K-leg. I don't know, my brother. This one too, clear me. This one here is saying an ESN didn't even meet them in the bush. So where is ESN? That is to tell you they are not in the bush. In fact, they don't know what is happening in the bush. Look, I don't know much about this whole ESN thing, but I do know that the little I know is that they were created to be in the bush to ensure that there's safety. Except you've not been to Nigerian bush before. You can't be in the same place. You can't be everywhere at the same time. Okay, I guess they move around. I don't know how they operate, but you don't expect them to be everywhere at the same time. They're not spirits. But that's going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. So take